first question is, or for you, is why did you want to get into real estate?
Honestly, it was my husband's idea. You know, he'd been listening to your podcasts. Basically, when you and Ellie first started doing the realty talk ones, and he said, hey, you know, you should go talk to GT. At least, you know, get an idea of what it's like. I think it's something you'd be really good at.
So we can thank our buddy, your husband, but my good friend Isaac for that. So now coming in, and we talked a few months back, right? I think you approached me 3 months ago.
February, middle of February.
Yeah. So you went really fast through this. So February we had talked about you doing real estate, and you've shadowed me and done some stuff, you know, kind of back and forth and kind of trying to learn a little bit, and you will obviously learn much more now that you're getting tossed right into everything. But what are you looking forward to most in real estate?
I'm looking forward to getting out there, meeting people, building my sphere, and of course selling some houses. There
you go. And have you, I guess the other question, which I've kind of asked Ellie when she first got in, was, is there anything what do you think is going to be, what are you most afraid of? What's your biggest hurdle? What do you think you have to overcome in order to be a good real estate or a good realtor?
I don't know. I guess my biggest fear is not picking up clients. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what I would do to overcome that other than just getting out there, meeting people. Yeah,
and I've told you, and I've told anybody that comes in, that real estate's tough to get into in the sense that you're not going to just jump in. And I think when you follow me on a day-to-day basis, and you know, I complain about not having enough time in the day to get to everything. That's taken me years to build up to that level, which wasn't happening when I first started. So when I first started, I was just trying to find a client, like find one client that you could work with. And the thing is, with people looking, like that's just one client that's looking. It doesn't mean they're going to go look at the first home, make an offer, and then you're going to close that. Like they might not even make an offer. They might decide they want to hold off or whatever. But I was telling you today, it's always about trying to increase your network, increase your people that you know. I think you had mentioned knowing a couple people that may be looking to buy or sell, and that's where it starts. You know, I talk about my first deal ever was a girl that I went to school with. I had known her for probably 15 plus years by the time she actually ended up purchasing something, and that was my first client. She bought a piece of land, and you know, she reached out to me, and I think that was nice because I had no experience, didn't know what I was really doing. Right. I got through that part fine because I was working with my dad on it a little bit to teach me what to do and make sure I had everything completed. But that's where it starts. You know, you start with a family friend, or it could be, you know, someone that we talked about, maybe from, you know, a niche or a group of people that you know, and that becomes your first client. And then we'll talk about how to leverage that into hopefully more business but it's going out, it's meeting people, it's increasing that, you know, increasing your name, increasing your, you know, name recognition, increasing your knowledge, and then as you start gaining more clients, that we can, you know, turn that into just, you know, consistent business where you're not like wondering like, man, I have no clients right now. You want to get to the point where you almost feel like you have too many clients. Right. Because, and I'm always big on, you know, I'm always looking to increase and expand and grow and as an agent, but also as a company. So like hopefully, you know, I can help you grow in that aspect, and the other agents in the office can do the same and leverage each other's knowledge and abilities and figure out a way that everybody can benefit each other and help each other grow. And I think the good thing, like I said, for you and for a new agent, because I've had this thought, is sometimes existing agents, you know, if they come over, they've done stuff a certain way. Like we've had some agents that have come over that have been, they've had their license prior. Like they're not like you. They didn't just get into the business. So, and there's a difference between they know pretty much what they're doing. Like they can fine tune some stuff or change some stuff to how, you know, maybe something different we did than another place. But for the most part, they know what they're doing. So it's more of just staying in touch, you know, getting ideas from them. That's why I'm big on having agents with meetings with agents and with the office to bounce ideas around and get their thoughts and opinions and try to implement those and grow as a team. Someone new coming in like you have everything to learn and nothing, but you have no bad habits. It's more of like, hey, you're coming in trying to learn everything and be a sponge and just take it all in. And so far, out of all the stuff that you've shadowed me on, what has been kind of the thing that you like the most?
I guess the listing appointments, those are the most exciting because you're actually capturing the client as opposed to just working with buyers.
Yeah, and I think there's more invested up front with the listing. Overall, it's less time. I mean, if you're an agent, any good agent knows that listings is what you want. You can leverage it more. It's a better use of your time overall, but there's more upfront time, but that's fine. You know, that's I would take a listing. If I could get a listing every single day, I'd be happy. You know what I mean? And I think I would get one listing a week, I'd be happy. You know, and that's what I think most agents, if you told them you could get 50 listings in a year, every agent would take you up on that because that's such a powerful thing. So that is obviously a good thing to strive for, and that's something that you want to build and build and build. And when I got into business, I told everybody, you're going to work with buyers 100% of the time when you get in. You're going to work with buyers for 100% of the time. You're going to work with sellers 0% of the time. And every year, you want to flip that ratio. In a perfect world, you would want to work with 100% sellers and 0% buyers, meaning because it's a better use of your time. But it takes a long time to get to that level. And I think you're never really going to be fully at that level because you're always going to double in some deals, meaning you're going to have a buyer that wants to buy a property. So you're going to have always... I think if somebody gets to like 90% listings and 10% buyers, that's a realistic number. But it takes time. This is my 9th year, and I would say I'm probably approaching the 50-50 mark right now. So I don't think I'm ever going to switch that probably for another 5 to 10 years before I could really step away from buyers fully. And I still like working with buyers because I love people getting their first home. I like, there's like, I think part of it has to do with my age, which I think you'll fall right into this, is that you start working with peers and stuff and they're buying their first home. It's exciting because you're helping them accomplish a really cool, life goal that they can accomplish. And it's always fun. I've had some people, I mean, you went on one too, and the lady that bought the home was ecstatic. That was something that she wanted. And
yeah, like the listings are great. That also was really great too, though, just seeing the excitement and then finally getting to the end of
the
closing.
I mean, the closing process takes time. I mean, it takes roughly 8 weeks. I would like it to be a little faster, but it's there's a lot involved, and you're dealing with banks and attorneys and inspections and title and all the good stuff that comes with closing. And so it's a matter of getting over that hump and trying to close on a property. So kind of was talking to you, like, you just gotta realize that once a deal goes under contract, that's not a closed sale by any means. I always feel way better after a home inspection because I think I have thoughts on home inspections. That's probably for a full podcast. I can talk about that. But I think, I always feel more confident once we're past really the inspection portion of it. Because inspections, I think, deals fall apart 90% of the time. If a deal falls apart 90% of the time, it's due to, I believe, in a home inspection.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the other 10%, you're looking at something weird that might happen. Very rarely is it financing. Every once in a while, but it's not often. So a lot of it comes down to, at that point, if there's any kind of like screw up on maybe the buyer getting cold feet or something happening after the fact, or something crazy happening. But majority of the time, something that falls apart is an inspection. But I'll probably do an inspection podcast at some point because that's, I think, a topic that I think a lot of people, really gotta understand the true meaning of a home inspection versus using it to try to get even more money out of a seller and things like that. But that's, like I said, for another podcast.